Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back into Man versus Sims. I'm here with my guys, Adam, Michael, and Ben, and we're here to talk about two players that Michael and Adam were asked to come up with two guys that they wanted to talk about versus the Sims, and they will be playing the role of man, and Ben and I will be playing the role of the Sims. Without further ado, we'll jump right into player number one, and I'll let Adam take it away and talk about Jeremiah Love of the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, Jeremiah Love. I don't have anything against Jeremiah Love, but his situation, I do. Currently, he is in a quagmire, I guess you would say, of running backs in Arizona. There are
You,
6 running backs on the depth chart currently. He is to be the focal point of the team from all accounts that we get. But then he had a press conference the other day that said he was kind of okay with being in a timeshare situation or a co-running back situation, kind of like we're seeing nowadays creep up in places like uh, L.A. with the Rams and Seattle was until Charbonnet got hurt, and Detroit, but with Montgomery and Gibbs last year, because he comes from a not not a true workhorse running back place with Notre Dame, where he had Jadarian Price take over some of his running back share during the season last year. Uh, I don't think his current ADP of 27.1 and his most times I see him get drafted late second round to early third round. I don't think that's warranted to do that this year with everything surrounding him that I've just spoke of. I personally have him ranked at ADP 39, which is going to have that in early round 4 for you. So I want to hear everybody else's thoughts. Actually, I want to hear the Sims thoughts. Am I in the right, or are we taking Jeremiah Love in the right spot currently as his current ADP suggests?
well, the Sims, I ran over 100,000. They don't, necessarily hate love. They don't necessarily love. Um, he's expected by the Sims to get around 1,100 rushing yards, 40 to 50 receptions, around 10 total touchdowns a game. That puts him roughly around running back, 12 to 15 finish. Um, that would put him overall in picks 25 through 32. So that's late round 2, early round 3. So basing it off the Sims, it loves love more than you love love.
That's fair.
But we can't
I
trust
see.
science, right? Like,
Yeah.
no, I
Well,
mean,
when Ben said that he was going to average 10 touchdowns a game, it was kind of like I kind of went back to that Kevin Hart video when Don Cheadle told him his age. He's like, "How old are you?" And he's like, 55. And he's like, "God."
damn.
But I know it was a misspeak there, but I was like, "Damn, 10
Yeah.
touchdowns a game for my guy." I don't have enough Jeremiah Love.
No, I
I might
should be
have to
taking
take
it
him over.
first.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of with Adam on this too, though. Like, especially considering how many running backs they have right now. Like, I get like Connor probably won't be there at some point, but I mean they literally got Algier, who already kind of hurt Bijan year one, and that just kind of feels like what's going to happen with Love here is it's just going to be a 60-40 split probably. Like, nobody knows, and even Jeremiah Love doesn't sound like he's going to be the bell cow there. He doesn't sound
And,
convinced.
and can we also take into consideration that Arizona is probably not going to be contending for a playoff spot? So if they think as high as they do of Jeremiah Love, they're going to rest him during the time where you need him most in best ball playoffs because they still have 3 or 4 running backs that can actually, do the job and in garbage season time. So
Yeah, I think
Oh.
the Sims are projecting him to get most of the goal line touches in Arizona. That's why his touchdowns are so high.
They never seen Tyler Algier, I guess.
Yeah, that dude's ruined so many touchdown bets for me.
It's also like I'm not sure if I believe in life after love, but I know that James Conner and Trey Benson probably won't. I know one of those guys is going to have to leave this backfield. I doubt they carry 4 all season long. So I assume they cut or put on the practice squad Trey Benson. Jeremiah Love, for me, from a fantasy perspective, is just there's just too many guys in that range that I prefer over him. And he has started to fall into like the 30s. He's typically going like 33, 34. So I think his 27.1 ADP will start to come down unless we get some kind of crazy camp news or he goes wild in the preseason or something like that. So I don't have any, I don't think, so far. Typically in that range, I'm taking like Edgebuka, Ladd, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, those type guys, and skipping out on Jeremiah Love, even when he falls. I just like the wide receivers early. I think there's a little bit of an advantage to that. Not sure how much Algier is going to eat into Love's workload, but if Algier's there, I assume it's probably starts off at like 60-40. Maybe Love starts to break away, given that, I mean, he has the draft capital, 3rd overall. I think it was the highest running back selection all time. So I don't know how much Algier can like hold on to the workload, but if they keep Connor's going to factor in some as well. Also think this is an offense that is going to be trailing a lot, and rookies can have difficulties pass blocking. So if Jeremiah Love can't pass block for whatever reason, if it doesn't translate to the NFL, you're going to see Algier more on 3rd down or Connor more on 3rd down. So he could lose some work there. It's just a bet that I'm not loving this high. If he were going like late 30s, I would have probably quite a bit of Jeremiah Love, but at 27, I'm going to skip out at that. So I agree more with Adam and less with the Sims on this one. I think I'm going to keep Love exactly where I have him, which is in the 30s. And if he starts to fall more toward my ADP, then I'll start to take him a little bit, but not a player that I love. Is that everything we got on Jeremiah Love? Ready to move on to I'm Just a Bill?
Yep, let's move on.
Let's talk about one of the most exciting players in the NFL. Not. Let's talk about Jacory Croskey-Merritt. Michael, take it away.
So essentially, when you look at him, like obviously it's year 2. I anticipate Merritt making a huge jump. Just from the standpoint too that you'll have Jaden Daniels healthy this year. So I mean, you look at the running game for Washington. You know, Bill's the only running back coming back from last year, so that's only going to bode well for him in carries. I do anticipate him getting a few more receptions this year, just because I think he'll have a little progression in that game. I know that's not really his strong point of his game, but I still think he'll get a few more by getting integrated into the offense a little more. And then when you look at him, I mean, you can get Bill currently in the 10th, 11th round. And for a running back that I personally can see getting maybe 1,200 yards, 10, 12 TDs total, maybe 20 or 30 catches this year, like I think he's got some high-end RB2 range, and you can basically get him down there when you're just picking guys. Like I can't really think of a lot of guys down there in the 10th and 11th round that I'm excited to get. So for me, Merritt has a lot of value down there, and I do think I personally would take him higher than his currently ADP, and I think he could go a couple rounds earlier based off what I think his production would be. So I'll let you guys. You think even with a healthy Daniels opening up more lanes? Because last year he didn't get a ton of Daniels. Definitely not healthy Daniels when he was there.
Well, the Sims labeled Bill as a questionable pick in round 10 at 122.8, which is his current ADP. He has a fantasy profile that's dependent on strong rushing volume and touchdowns. He basically is a 0 in the receiving game. JCM finished last season, his rookie season, with 148.3 fantasy points, 8.7 fantasy points per game. However, he had 12 games under 10 fantasy points. And if you take away the 3 games that he had over 10 fantasy points, which accounted for 49% of his output, his season didn't really look that great. He also finished ranked 68th at the running back position in targets, on a team that just added a receiving back in Rachaad White. JCM had 9 receptions in 2025. Rachaad White had 40 in 2025. And if you look at his 4.6 yard per carry, on the surface, it looks okay. But he actually had a negative 5.88 EPA, or expected points added, in 2025, which significantly worsens if you take away the 72-yard touchdown run versus Dallas, which accounted for 10% of his yearly production. Dan Quinn has already come out. He alluded to that he wanted to use more than one back in 2026. And for a player that's touchdown dependent, adding a player like Katron Allen could hurt JCM's upside. Bill also coughed up the ball quite a bit in 2025. And Quinn noted that JCM's pass pro could use some work, which doesn't bode well for him staying on the field for 3 downs. What the model shows, and I ran 3.5 million total sims with this, he scored 8.7 fantasy points per game on average. He had a 15.2 round 1 advance rate, which is negative 1.47, lower than the 16.67 normal advance rate, which is massive when you consider the players around him. He has a relative advance rate of minus 8.8%, so he actually is worse than the players being drafted around him. I know Michael said that he didn't love those guys. His raw fair ADP came out as 143.4, and the model labeled him as an avoid unless he falls past his current ADP of 128. And they would not consider him until he falls to at least pick 133. I tend to agree with the Sims on this one. I'm not a big Bill Croskey-Merritt fan, just from the I watch football in my eyes type of situation, and he just doesn't look good. He has moments when he's explosive, but then he has moments where he just lacks common sense, and he's not one of those guys. A football coach like Dan Quinn wants a football guy who can sometimes just fall forward, and that just doesn't seem like Bill Croskey-Merritt. It looks like he's trying to bust every run for 70 yards, and this guy's just not Jamal Charles. So I think they'll lean more on probably using a 3-headed monster. I think you probably see JCM start the season as the RB1. I think you see Rachaad White in 2-minute drills. I think you see him maybe in 4-minute drills, and then you see him on 3rd down. And then the more the team gets comfortable with a plotter, a huge guy, I think his nickname is Fat Guy, Katron Allen, once they get used to him and him falling forward, I think it could eat into Jacory Croskey-Merritt's workload a bit in Washington. Adam, Ben, you guys got anything to add on Bill?
Yeah, I see that backfield being just way too crowded, for him. I mean, like I said, you have the young rookie there, then you have, White and Ford. So he's not really a passing downs guy either. He has limitations there. So finding a role for him to fit, it's going to be hard for him.
Yeah, he's the Trey Benson to the Arizona backfield. I said it, Michael. I'm sorry. But he is not. It's at the end of the day, they might trade him. They might ship him off. I know they have control on him for, a rookie contract last year, so he's got another year of control, and that's kind of hard to get rid of. But
he's got 3 more years at basically nothing.
Yeah. So, but I don't see them having a bright future. I'm pretty sure that Jaden Daniels is going to love Rachaad White and Natron Allen as well. And Bill's is going to be an afterthought. He's going to be there if somebody goes down.
We'll see. It's hard to believe that they'll just stop giving the rock to somebody that they had as their lead back last year.
I mean,
as a rookie.
They might. Yeah, I mean, they might use him in the return game. That might be the best spot for him, to be honest.
So they've actually come out in the last couple of days. I heard Coach Speak Index talk about this the other day, that Quinn has already put even Rachaad White and Bill Croskey-Merritt on the return team to kind of see if they can mix them in. I just think it's going to be almost impossible with the guy who struggles pass blocking when you have a quarterback like Daniels, who, yes, he can escape the pocket, but yes, he's often injured as well. They're going to want a guy in there they trust, and I think that guy's Rachaad White, unless something happens and he gets injured, and then it's probably Jerome Ford for pass protection. So you're probably talking JCM versus Katron Allen for 1st and 2nd down. But if Katron starts to eat into the goal line work just because he's so big, like you need an absolute like nut outcome for Jacory Croskey-Merritt to pay off the price tag. Like in that range, I'd much rather have like Tyler Shuck, Baker Mayfield. Like I'm usually taking my
Well, that's your quarterback
QB2,
range
QB3. Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. So I mean, like for me, I don't ever get to Jacory Croskey-Merritt just because I think guys like I don't think he differs a lot from like Tyrone Tracy, from maybe even like Justice Hill in Baltimore, because he should have the pass down work to himself, and on a full PPR site could help out him catch up. I mean, Jacory Croskey-Merritt's probably going to have a lot of games that are like 8.7, 10.1, 9.5. But if you get 3-4 catches from Justice Hill, you're getting the same running back for free at the end of drafts. There's a lot of guys like Keaton Mitchell, I think, has a higher upside at like pick 145 than Jacory Croskey-Merritt. There's just a lot of guys that I think you can play catch up with Croskey-Merritt where I don't think you can play catch up at quarterback. Like if you miss on Baker, if you miss on Shuck, then it gets real ugly once you get past Darnold and CJ Stroud. When you're looking at guys like Geno, Aaron Rodgers, Shedeur Sanders, Tua, it's like I don't hate Jacory Croskey-Merritt. I just hate him where he's being drafted. Same thing with Jeremiah Love. Like if Croskey-Merritt was going 138, I'd have more of him. If Jeremiah Love was going 36th, I'd have more of him. But given where those guys are going, it's hard for me to pay the price tag.
I think I like Merritt too because I think you can get some big games out of him to help propel you through some weeks. I mean, at that point too, where you're drafting him, he's probably running back 3 or 4 for you. I would imagine you have probably 2 before you get to that pick, hopefully. I mean, if you don't, you may already be in trouble.
You're in trouble.
So, I mean, like, I like him as just one of those guys that can flash and get you like a 20-point game just because he did get a big run in there, 80 yards and 2 touchdowns or something like that.
But I still think you can get him where he's at right now. I don't think you have to go reach and get higher. I think he's just where he's at. It's fine.
It even makes me nervous at 123. I don't want to be at like 130. Like I've taken him a couple of times when he's just absolutely fallen. That's like there's just players that I won't take unless they're past their ADP. He just kind of falls in that bucket where could I see him having a big year? No. Could I see him having an okay year? Sure. Could I see him being maybe the worst pick on the board? Absolutely. So it's hard for me to reach for a guy that I'm just not sold on. I just don't know if it's eye test or what it is, but he's just one guy that he's just not my guy.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though, too. I mean, Jerome Ford would probably still be there, too, when Bill's there. So it's like, who would you rather have? I would rather have Jerome Ford, personally.
Yeah, the pick because you're getting him for free. Like, I don't even know if he's being drafted currently, but I just think this is one of those backfields that it's almost like a stay away from it for me. I know a lot of people are taking Rachaad White, and Rachaad White's ADP has gone up like 30 spots since drafts have started. And
Where's
it's like
he
up
at
to
now?
like 115.
Jeez.
And I'm like, I can't get it to 115 on Rachaad White. I get it. Like, he should be fine from a PPR standpoint, but like, that's a pretty hefty price tag when you're matching him up against guys like Shuck, who has a pretty good, playoff schedule. Bill Croskey-Merritt at 123 is probably the best pick of the bunch if you're considering Washington running backs, but like even that I don't love. Katron Allen on DK's kind of useless. Even if he gets worked in, he's not going to catch any passes. He's going to be a plotter that gets in, gets you 2-3 yards. Almost like if they use him like a Mike Tolbert back in the Carolina days, a guy that's just a bowling ball to get in the end zone, but they're never going to pass it to him. So you need a touchdown or he's just useless on DraftKings. And then Ford's probably your second best guy because if he can carve out a role, he's free. So you're just kind of picking up chips that the rest of the tournament left on the table. So I think it's a lot of just avoid the situation and keep it moving for me.
I just don't think Ford's going to play much. Not necessarily because Merritt beats him out, just because you've got Katron there, you've got Rachaad White. Like I think it seems like Cleveland lost faith in Ford, and I mean if he's can't even make it in Cleveland,
I don't know if it's a Ford problem or a Cleveland front office coaching.
That's fair too. Yeah.
Because I'm like, if he might be decent, and they just let him go. But I mean, we won't know until preseason how this is really starting to shake out. I would imagine if they start the season right now, if I'm guessing, I'd imagine you probably see 55% Jacory Croskey-Merritt and 45% Rashad White. I assume once the season moves on a little bit, you're going to start to see a little bit of Kaytron Allen. You're going to start to see a little bit of Jerome Ford. And then by the end of the year, like Croskey-Merritt's not a huge guy. So if he gets started to get dinged up, if he continues to fumble the ball, he could very easily lose his job if he's costing this team games, because they should be, especially if they go out and add like Ayuk or Debo or Stephon Diggs, they should be a decent team in the NFC. But I just don't think I can't see the upside for Jacory Croskey-Merritt. I want to try to see it, but like I feel like I'm stretching too thin. I feel like I'm going all in with like pocket eights and just hoping for the best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, news out of Washington, though, I looked at this news story. They are pushing for Merritt to be an every down back. That came out on June 22nd. So
it is hard to know, right? Everybody's pushing for this is my guy, like, and then you get to the season and it's like, oh, he's carrying the clipboard.
Exactly.
Well, it's that time of the year too where like nobody's doing any wrong. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, oh man, I've seen this guy in shorts and a t-shirt. He's the greatest player of all time. You know, and then it's like,
Deshaun Watson's
the greatest player of all time.
Well, Deshaun's still getting some bad press out of the Cleveland, so not everybody's doing wrong.
He's just a bad human, I think, which is is the bugaboo there. Is that all we got on Jacory Croskey-Merritt?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in to Man vs. Sim. This is episode number 6. Going to throw up a QR code if you are watching on your phone, on your TV, QR code if you want to go check out our site over at breakingboardsdfs.com. Threw up a really cool tool today as we move closer to DFS season. Wanted to throw out a bankroll management tool for you guys. One of the most important things that I think you can use is not overextending and over leveraging yourself and then hitting that deposit button over and over again. So if you want to avoid that, that's over there for free. There's also some draft tools if you want to go check those out. There's also some DK best ball tools if you want to go look at those. Probably going to start doing some videos breaking down how to use those tools. But they're available to you for free. Also, if you want to check out our rankings, just go over, download the rankings. They're $9.99. You will get all of our rankings for DraftKings easily uploadable. Put them right on the site and draft alongside what we think is likely for the 2026 season. But again, glad you all could join us. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Man vs. Sims goes live every Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then What If, our other show, goes live on Wednesdays at 4. And then check us out with our live streams for On the Board, where we're doing some live drafting as well. And hopefully we can get a couple of you guys on the channel to draft alongside us. Appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you in the next video.